Hello, this is Capital Luxury. Welcome to this channel. Keep watching if you want to hear more. 10 Rolex timepieces are currently available below their recommended retail price, RRP. Some of these models were unexpected finds for me, with the last one being the most surprising. Let's begin with a watch I never anticipated seeing discounted, the Rolex Daytona. This timepiece gained fame through Joanne Woodward's passive-aggressive gifting tactics to dissuade her husband from pursuing dangerous hobbies. Surprisingly, the Daytona can now be bought for less than its sticker price. The journey of the Daytona has been tumultuous, undergoing 3 major revisions. Initially known as the Cosmograph, it later became the Daytona. The introduction of the exotic dial, which dealers swapped out to entice buyers, was another attempt to boost sales. Finally, in 1988, an automatic movement was incorporated, catching up with competitors after nearly 2 decades. Despite Rolex's persistence, the Daytona struggled to gain popularity, unlike the Submariner and Yacht-Master. However, the 1988 redesign struck a chord with buyers, marking a turning point in its fortunes. Priced at around £2,000 initially, adjusted for inflation, that's equivalent to £6,700 today. This revamped model transformed the Daytona from a discounted item to a coveted watch with multi-year waitlists. Surprisingly, even as the Submariner remained available new at or below RRP, the Daytona became a must-have. However, the white gold 12659 model now sells for approximately £800 below its list price. Why has this particular model suffered? There are 2 primary reasons: its high cost, being a white gold watch with a corresponding bracelet, and its similarity in appearance to the stainless steel version, which is 3 times cheaper. The subtle differences, such as the contrasting subdials and sunburst dial texture, are often overlooked. In summary, opting for the steel version may be a wiser choice, considering the negligible distinctions and significant price difference. The following timepiece, when examined on paper, stands out as one of Rolex's most remarkable creations. It functions as a chronograph similar to the Daytona, ranking as the 2nd most intricate watch in Rolex's lineup after the Skydweller. Notably, it introduced the innovative bezel adjustment system, appealing to those who appreciate precise control over their timepieces. Regrettably, its aesthetic appeal falls short, likened to a blobfish in a blender. Introduced in 2007, which feels both recent and distant, spanning over 15 years, it emerged as Rolex's solution to a common dilemma faced by numerous individuals worldwide: how to effectively navigate yacht racing. Here's the procedure. 10 minutes prior to the start, a warning is issued, which makes sense because a 15-minute warning would be deceptive. Notably, the Yacht-Master 2 features a 10-minute countdown timer. Through the ingenious ring command mechanism, the large triangle-tipped hand can be set to the 10-minute mark to initiate the countdown. Additionally, the countdown can be adjusted to any time within the 10-minute window. I recall attempting to set one previously and experiencing considerable difficulty. It's akin to cleaning a leaking trash can liner. Endure, persevere, and avoid nausea. Now, back to the race. With 5 minutes remaining until the 5-minute warning, preparations intensify. Sails are hoisted, hatches secured, and perhaps a final adjustment made. Imagining the scene, it resembles a frantic flurry of activity. Upon the 5-minute alarm, the Yacht-Master maneuver encircles, breaking free to head toward the start line, aiming to cross precisely when the timer reaches 0 and the race officially commences. Undoubtedly, this presents a significant challenge, prompting Rolex to offer assistance, thereby enhancing the world. Gratitude is due to Rolex for their contribution. For enthusiasts interested in adding the Yacht-Master 2 to their collection, favorable opportunities await as it's available below retail. The steel 116680, with a retail price of £16,000, can be acquired for just over £13,200 when purchased used. For those desiring a blend of steel and gold, the 116681, originally priced at £21,750, can be obtained for around £17,000. The renowned Rolex Explorer was introduced in 1953 with the aim of exploring innovative strategies to entice consumers to purchase Rolex timepieces. Originally, It was intended to commemorate the historic accomplishment of being the first watch worn atop Mount Everest. However, Rolex encountered a setback when expedition leader Edmund Hillary surprised them by wearing a Smith's watch instead. Despite bringing both watches along, Hillary, being British himself and leading a British expedition, opted for the Smith's watch, likely due to its British origin and the sponsorship connections. Rolex, employing a close enough approach, proclaimed themselves as the first on Everest in a front-page newspaper advertisement. Although they retracted the claim after Smith's objection, the narrative had already been shaped by Rolex. While Rolex doesn't explicitly state that the Explorer was worn on Everest, they imply it through careful wording and imagery, avoiding direct confirmation. Although Rolex watches were present during the expedition, they were stored in bags and may not have reached the summit. Moreover, they were not explorers, but oyster perpetuals equipped with specialized features like temperature-resistant oil. The iconic 369 Explorer dial was released alongside the Turnograph and Submariner as part of a trio of adventure-ready timepieces. Despite its widespread admiration, the classic 36mm size may not fit larger wrists comfortably. Thus, Rolex introduced a risky 39mm version, only to discontinue it and return to the 36mm size. This decision left many feeling misled, akin to being gaslit by a charity. Although smaller watches are gaining acceptance, the 36mm Explorer 24270 still has somewhat limited appeal. However, this is advantageous for individuals with smaller wrists, sparing them from emulating Hillary's choice to forego wearing a watch altogether. The Explorer 24270 can be acquired for just over £100 off its £6,300 retail price. Alternatively, for a more substantial discount, the controversial B-metal 24273, originally priced around £1,350, now retails for approximately £8,200. Out of the trio of watches introduced in 1953, it was the Submariner that made the biggest impact. Developed in collaboration with Jacques Cousteau, it marked the first dive watch with 100 meters of water resistance and served as the blueprint for nearly all subsequent dive watches. It has become so ubiquitous that it's as common as flies on, well, a Submariner. It's not just any watch. It's the watch, so ingrained in our culture that its absence would be like pizza without cheese, Rick without Morty, or James Corden without an exaggerated sense of self-importance. The Submariner epitomizes Rolex's business strategy of not necessarily being the first, but certainly doing it right. While some argue that the Blancpain 50 Fathoms preceded it and established the modern dive watch, the historical timeline is murky, reminiscent of Rolex's claim regarding the Explorer. Regardless of who came first, what's indisputable is that Rolex mastered it, notably by standardizing depth ratings in universally understood units like feet and meters, rather than obscure measurements like fathoms. They also made the Submariner accessible and affordable to both hobbyist and professional divers, selling it at reasonable prices in tackle shops, rather than at exorbitant pirate rates like 20 doubloons, as one might imagine the 50 fathoms would cost. For the longest time, the Submariner was the go-to choice for anyone seeking a standard, durable, dependable sports watch, akin to Helena Bonham Carter in a Tim Burton film, the default option. However, its increasing cost and scarcity have altered its status. Nevertheless, if you're open to adding a touch of yellow gold to your steel, the bimetal 26613LN is currently the most affordable Submariner, priced below the recommended retail price. While it's £13,750 when new, you can find a used one for around £1,600. If you're inclined toward a more lavish style and fancy the full yellow gold £12,668, you'll save nearly £4,500 off the £33,200 price tag. But if you prefer to keep your Submariner free of yellow hues, you can follow the example set by the earlier Daytona and opt for the white gold £26,619, priced at £27,600, nearly £10,000 below the £36,700 retail price. If you've enjoyed diving into the world of luxury watches with us, don't forget to subscribe to Capital Luxury for more insightful analyses, captivating stories, and exclusive updates on the most coveted timepieces in the market. Stay ahead of the curve and elevate your watch game with Capital Luxury. Subscribe now and join our community of discerning enthusiasts.